So that's the differences between delete, truncate, and then drop, right? So there will be one more difference using transactions. Transactions in the sense, uh, let's say you have deleted data, and can we roll back it the deleted data? And if you truncated data, right? So can we roll back that data? So there is begin tran, let's say, and I delete from EMP, and then I did rollback, something like this, right? So if I do select star from, okay, so we have deleted, we have dropped the table, right? So let me create and insert the data. So now I can see table data again. So now what I'm doing, I'm just beginning a transaction and then deleting data and rollbacking it. I'll tell you what are those keywords. 8 rows affected, it is saying, right? But if I do select star from table now, can I see data still?
Yeah.
Why? That's because of the transaction here. I am opening a transaction and then I'm deleting data. I'm rollbacking it. If I say, if I don't roll back here, if I use only these two commands, 8 rows affected, and if I do select star from EMP, you cannot see data now. So once I use rollback, we can roll back the deleted data as well, right? So, but some theories will say only for delete it will work, but it truncate it will not work, right? So as of now, data is there, and then I'm executing this transaction command, begin transaction, delete data, and then roll back. And once after deletion also, you can see records in the table, since the rollback operation will again reverse the transaction. Okay, the rollback will reverse the transaction. And same if I do truncate table name, right? So few theories will say that if you do truncate, you cannot roll back the data, but we can in reality. I did it and then select star from. Can you see the records? Right?
Yes. Sir, what about drop then?
Good question. Drop we cannot. Correct. Drop also we can roll back. I think I never tried. Yeah, drop also we can. And in which situations we'll go with the transaction, guys? When do you think the transaction is required? The rollback operation.
When we need the information again, what we deleted.
Maybe bank transaction. Correct only. Yeah, banking operation. So let's say sometimes if you go to withdraw amount from ATM, right? So if you withdraw some amount and sometimes the cash did not come out of the ATM machine, right? But you'll receive a SMS saying that 10,000 got deducted, right? But after few minutes, again you'll receive email, the transaction got reversed, right? That is what the rollback. Either the transaction should fully commit or the partial transactions it will not won't allow. Either the transaction should complete fully or the transaction itself should not be initiated. That is what the rollback, right? So now we can say by, if they'll ask you differences between delete and truncate, even though if you delete the data, we can roll back for both delete and then truncate. They'll ask you this point also, right? You can also say some theory says that using, if you do truncate, we cannot roll back the data, right? But in reality, we can roll back the data. Clear? That is also one more difference you can say. Okay. So now that's all about commands, DDL, DML, and then we have DCL and TCL, right? So this commit, rollback and save point will comes under TCL only, transactions, right? So, and then now, guys, if you need to do order by, if you want to select employee IDs, descending order, how to do that? Right now it is in ascending order, right? So if you want to do descending order, you just need to write after select star from order by EID. If you won't give anything and if you leave it like this, by default it is ascending operation, right? Order by EID if you leave it, or you can also give ASC, which is ascending. If you don't give also, it is ascending order. If you want to use it, the descending, you have to explicitly mention DESC, which is descending. We can see the data in descending order. And even the same, if you use order by one also, it is same. Order by one, the first column will be ordered. Order by one descending, which means the first column. Clear? And then there is a lot more. See, now let's say with order by I want to filter out department ID CSC. Where should I write the where clause? After order or before order? It should be before order. Where clause should be before order by, where department equals to CSC, right? And then order by you can do it. This is the order of the select statement. And we have a few more commands we have to use in the select, which is group by and then having class. I'll tell you in going forward classes these two. And this is the order of using the select statement. First select and then where class, then group by, then having class. This is the order of a selection. They'll ask you, I think, this question also. What is the complete select statement? What is the order of using where, group, having, and then order by? All right. So I'll tell you what is the functionality of these two. All right. So as of now, we don't have any scenario to use it. I'll tell you. Or maybe if you want to use, okay, let's not do that. Yeah, maybe while explaining subqueries, I'll explain this group by and then having class. Okay, but the fully qualified select statement will be this way: select and then next is where clause, next order is group by and then having, at last order by will come. Okay, remember that. And then maybe I'll discuss this point again while discussing about subqueries concept. Okay, so now let's move on to constraints topic. Right, so constraints. The constraints are used to restrict the data while entering into the table, while inserting data into a table, right? So constraints are used to restrict data while inserting into a table, which means, let's say in the earlier example we had discussed the same employee ID cannot be there for multiple employees, right? So we can see, I think here name or same, yeah, here in this case. So 3333 Anil is there and 3333 Sunil is there. Do you think in reality this will happen? No, right? And also 3333 can't be there in twice, right? If let's say he is the employee ID in the same department or different department also cannot be the unique, right? But here it is same department, but same employee ID is there. It should not be, all right? And in some case, they'll say that the minimum age to work in particular department should be 28. But can we see 27 age also here? All right. So those kind of restrictions we can include with the help of constraints concept, right? So that's what the definition says. Constraints are used to restrict the data while inserting into a table. So we have a few types of constraints, which are primary key constraint. Yes, this is important. Listen carefully, and if you did not understand, let me know. And then foreign key, unique, not null, check, and then default, right? So these are the constraints we have in SQL Server, which are primary key, foreign key, unique, not null, check, and then default constraint, right? So what does the primary key will do? What is the functionality of it? What does it restrict? All these constraints are at table level, guys. Let me confirm one thing. We'll create all these constraints on a column level. Table level, under table, we'll implement in the column level, right? So let's say if I give primary key and the employee ID column, what does it will do means? It will not allow duplicate values. And do you think the employee ID can be null? No, right? It should not be. And null values. It won't allow duplicate values and then null values. And when it comes to foreign key, it will allow both duplicate and null values, right? And it is referenced to primary key column value. I'll tell you this point with example, right? So if you did not understand, so what it will do is it will allow both duplicate and then null values, and it is referenced to primary key, which means so foreign key will be created on the primary key column. I mean referenced by the primary key column. If let's say employee ID is there and then department table is there, right? So the same employee ID can work for multiple departments, right? So in this case, in the foreign key table, employee ID may be duplicated. Why? Because if let's say employee ID 1111 is working for CSE and also mechanical, then in the department table, primary key foreign key column, employee ID entry should be there twice. Why? Because one for CSE, one for mechanical. All right. So that is what the reference means. It is a referential integrity foreign key, which is referred to primary key values, and also whatever the primary key column have the values, only those values you can enter into the foreign key. The new values you cannot insert. Right. That is also one more point. Maybe I'll explain you this with example. You will not understand this. So unique key. So unique key will not allow duplicates. Guys, you know the duplicate, what is duplicate means? I think I will consider like everyone knows it. So duplicates are nothing but redundant data, which is the same value repeating again and again. That is duplicate. If 1111 is there twice, that is a duplicate record. It will not allow duplicates, and it will allow only one null value. If you create a unique key on a column, that column will not allow duplicate values, and at most it will allow only one null value. If you create unique constraint onto a column, right? So I'll repeat it. If you create any primary key onto a column, then that column values will not allow duplicates and also null values, right? If you let's say you have created a primary key on the employee ID, then the employee ID will not allow duplicate values and also null values. If you create foreign key, it will allow both duplicate and null values, but the values should get it or should be inserted whatever it is there on the primary key column. Primary key column లో ఏవైతే వాల్యూస్ ఉంటాయో అవే మనం ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలి ఈ ఫారిన్ కీ కాలమ్ లో, రైట్? Other than that, it will not accept. We'll see that. And then when it comes to unique key will not allow duplicates, but it will allow only one null value. Why? Because it is also one unique value, right? The name itself says unique. That's why it will allow one null value, right? So, and then not null. The name itself says it won't allow null values. It won't allow null values. And then check constraints. It will check the condition before it inserts data into a table, which means let's take an example of employee age. Employee age greater than 18 if I give, and if let's say if I'm inserting data 15, then the 15 record will not insert into the table. That is what the check constraint will do. If you give a condition, employee age should be greater than 18, and if is any employee is trying to insert employee age 15, it will not accept. It won't insert data into the table, right? I'll show you with example. And then default means by any case if user forgot to give the values, right? So if let's say location, so location you forgot to provide, right? Maybe you have given a web application and you are asked to fill up the application online form, but that is not a red mark. Location is not a red mark, right? Which is mandatory, which is not a mandatory field. You will leave it, but the system will automatically take one default value, which means if the user doesn't provide any value to that field, then the system only will consider a default value, right? That is what the default. By default, it will insert provided default value into a table, which means if the user doesn't insert any value to the column, then by default, whatever we have specified, that value will get inserted. Let's say for location, if you're not inserting any value, but while creating a table, if I had given a default value of Bangalore, then the Bangalore will get inserted into the table if you don't give the location value, right? So that is what the default. Any questions, guys? Did you all understand the theoretical part of constraints?
Yes, bro, I understand theoretical.
Sorry?
I understand the theoretical, but how about practical?
Okay. How about others? Okay. I think silence, I'll take it partially understood. Okay. Maybe if you partially understood, maybe let me tell you with example, maybe you can understand better. So now I want to create a new table, okay, with constraints. And one more thing, guys, now tell me, and also I thought to tell you, so primary key, we can create only one onto a table, right? We can create only one primary key onto a table. Okay, now tell me, if I want to achieve the primary key functionality in a same table for more than one column, can we achieve it by using other existing constraints? Think and answer me, guys. Let's say, as I told you, we can only create one primary key onto a table, but my requirement is to achieve the same requirement by using other constraints. Can we achieve it? If yes, what are those constraints? Not getting. Let me help you. The primary key will not allow duplicate and null values, right? But can we achieve the same requirement with other constraints here? Think. If you can read out the text, whatever I have written over there, you can get the answer.
Unique key.
Unique.
Unique. But primary key will not allow null value, right? But unique will allow one null value.
Yes, sir.
Then you are almost there. You have an answer for my question as well. Unique
For any
will allow,
constraint.
we can create combination of unique plus not null. Agree?
Yeah.
Unique will allow one null value, but if you create not null, then that null value also will not allow, right?
Yes, bro.
So if you want to achieve primary key functionality more than one in a table, we can create unique and then not null constraint. Okay. First create not null and then create unique key. Okay. So now let me, that is one more question they may ask you in interview, right? So remember that. So we have 10 minutes. Let me quickly create a table. Create table name, and then employee ID int. I'll go fast, guys. You know the concepts, right? So primary key, and then employee name, worker of 10. I'll just use not null constraint here. Name should not be null. And then employee age int. I'll give check constraint here. Check of age greater than 18. This is how you need to give it condition. And then location, right? Location worker of 20, and then I'll give default of Bangalore. This is my table structure. So I have utilized here primary key, not null, check, and then default, right? So there are two more pending. So foreign key and then unique key, I'll tell you in the tomorrow's class with some other example. Okay. First, let's concentrate on these 4 constraints. So I'm creating a table here. Somewhere the syntax issue. I think the closing brace is missing. So let me create it. Yeah. So select star from employee, right? So if you do, it will be a blank data. There will not be any records as of now since we have created table. And let me insert data now. Insert into EMP, I mean employee values. So now let me try to insert 1111 and then employee name as Amar, and then employee age, let me give 15, and then employee location, I'll give maybe Chennai, right? So if I insert, do you think the value will get inserted into the table? Do you think it will insert or not?
No,
Sorry.
no, bro. The age is
No.
below 18. No?
Age is less than 18, right? It's 15.
Okay. Any other answers? Guys, why everyone come? You did not understand the concept or what?
Default
Obviously,
it's Bangalore.
default is Bangalore, but when you, what I told, when you did not give value for location, then only the default value will insert as a Bangalore. But I had given value for Chennai, right? So it will insert the Chennai. But when I don't give value here, then Bangalore will get inserted. Maybe here when user will not enter value. Yeah. So now it will not insert the record. Why? Because there is a
Age.
issue with the age, which is check constraint. The age should be greater than 18, but we had given here 15.
15.
So that's the problem. So if you give 20, we'll get in, right? So it will allow data to be entered. So that is what the constraints. You got it? The meaning of the constraints. So constraints are used to restrict the data while entering into a table, while inserting data into a table. So now we try to insert data into a table with age 15, but since the constraint is looking for more than 18, and that's how the table insertion did not happen. It threw error, right? So once we change that value to 20, it got inserted. So now let me insert the same value, right? Do you think it will execute now?
No, bro.
Yeah.
No.
ID same.
So for primary key employee ID, it is a duplicate value. Will not insert. See here, violation of primary key constraint cannot insert a duplicate value. It will say the duplicate key also. The duplicate key value is 11, which means it is there already. You are trying to insert it again, right? So if you provide some other ID, it will insert. Clear? Now 2 examples we have discussed: primary key and then check constraints. So now I want to insert data. Insert into and 3333. I won't give value for employee name, right? So, and also I won't give value for location. Do you think it will accept? First of all, do you think this is the right syntax?
No, bro.
No.
If I want to insert only these 2 values, what is the syntax to insert?
We have to specify the column names.
Correct, right? So if you are inserting only values for few columns in a table, you have to specify the column names, right? So employee ID and then employee age, right? So now still, do you think it will allow? Syntax is correct? No. Why? Because employee name is not
Column.
null. We are not inserting value for the employee name. Do you think it will allow null values? No, right? Since we have used not null, right? So you have to use employee name,
Name.
right? So now I'll give employee name here. Do you think it will insert now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm not giving value for location, right?
No,
Do you
no,
think
no.
it
It
will
will
allow?
be because the location should be there. No?
Sorry?
Location.
It
Location.
takes the default.
My question is whether it will insert the record or not. First thing.
It
Insert.
will insert the
Yes,
record and
sir.
it will take the location default value as Bangalore.
Correct. Everyone agree? Right?
Yes, bro.
So it will insert the value. Why? Because the rest all conditions are satisfied. And if you did not insert value for location, default Bangalore will be inserted. Let's check that. Select star from table name. Can you see Bangalore as a default value?
Yeah, bro.
Clear, guys? Did you all got the clear picture of what are constraints and when do we use it?
Yes, bro.
Right? So primary key, I'll repeat it. Primary key will not allow null values and then duplicate values. And not null values will not allow the null values. We have to enter a value for not null constrained column. And check constraint will check the condition whatever you had given before the data insert into the table. If the condition is satisfied, then only it will allow the data to insert into the table, right? So if you use default constraint, and if you did not provide value for that default constrained column, then the default value whatever you have provided that will get inserted into the table. Example is like we saw here, the Bangalore got inserted, right? And unique key will not allow duplicates and it will allow at most one null value, only one null value, right? And foreign key will allow both duplicate and null values, but that value should come from the primary key column values, right? So now we have created a primary key here. In some other table, if you create a foreign key, then whatever the values which are available here, these values only we can enter into the foreign key column. That is what I meant here. Reference to primary key column means only 1111, 2222, 3333 can be inserted into the foreign key column. Other values we cannot insert. I'll tell you that tomorrow. And also, as I told you, primary key constraint we can create one. If you want to create more, combination of unique and not null, you have to create, right? So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I think it's time up and we'll connect tomorrow again. Okay. Try to practice it and
Okay.
let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll connect tomorrow.